Hey guys, welcome to my channel, everybody, and thank you so much for watching. What's going on, guys? I am Jade. If you're new here, hit the like button, guys, and also share this video. Thank you guys so much for being here. So, I have a few updates that I wanted to cover. First of all, this is William and Kate during one of their international trips being treated like quote unquote royals, and it's so interesting. The reason why this is particularly interesting to me is that a lot of people have described William and Kate as the modern royals who basically wanted to come in and kind of do away with some of the nasty old tradition, you know, dehumanizing things that we're clearly dehumanizing. But here they are. This is at the early stage of their marriage. I believe this was shortly after they got married. As you can see, William still has a bit of hair. The middle part is going though, but he still has something at the front. And again, I know some people say this is tradition, but nobody says you have to do everything like tradition. Heck, not even his own father did what tradition did. And he also is not following any like meaningful tradition. And it's 2025 slash 2024 because we're still at the beginning of the year 25. So, you know, honestly, whatever happens to out with the old and in with the new. And you know what is interesting? That was what Meghan Markle and Prince Harry brought to the table. Like the real modernization of the royal family. Like you can actually see that efforts were being made. People were so receptive. There's a video, I don't know if I have the video saved. Gosh, I hope I have the video saved. Of Meghan Markle speaking, I believe it was New Zealand or something or the other, speaking about the 100, speaking on during the 120th women's suffrage anniversary. And this is something that Kate could never do. Kate, she's not even that girl. She's not that person. She doesn't have what it takes. She doesn't have the charisma. She doesn't have the intelligence. Whenever I talk, I particularly remember a lot of people who are obviously Kate supporters coming for me in my previous video when I was talking about how Kate mumbles. She mumbles her words. She cannot make a clear statement. And people were like, well, Megan is always having word salad. No, she doesn't. It's not her fault that you're stupid. It's not Megan's fault that you cannot keep up with what she's saying. It's not Megan's fault that you get lost, that her conversation is above your intelligence level. It's not her fault. Don't blame her. Blame the royal family for failing you, for not investing in your education, that you can't even follow simple words, simple language. English is English, American English, the American English, British English, it doesn't even matter. But you simply cannot follow. And as a result, you think the woman is spewing word salad. No, she's incredibly, highly articulate. Okay. I wouldn't even be surprised if her IQ is like way. Some of you have single digit IQs, some of you have double digit IQs, so you probably can't relate to her level of intelligence. But yeah, sorry to make you cry, sorry to make you sad, but your English Rose, she mumbles her words. She mumbles a word. Like sometimes you really have to like listen in to actually hear what she's saying. And I do believe that a lot of times the people that she's talking to are literally faking, pretending to understand what she's saying because they want to be polite. They don't want to like offend the quote unquote royals. You know what I mean? And yeah, so it's not anybody's fault. Blame the royal family who are basically just using your taxpayers' money that should be dedicated to funding education. They're using it on themselves, and guess what? They're about to do it again. Okay, let me share my video. I will talk about this Harry, Megan, sorry, Kate and William situation in a bit, but they are about to get another $56 million increase. The royal family, it's coming up. Okay, so let me touch this one and then I'll talk about the pay increase that they're about to get in April. So this is what they should be doing with taxpayers' funds, but instead they are getting pay increase. Pay increase for what? What exactly has William and Kate done to deserve pay increase? A recent analysis was done and they barely made it out. They barely engage in their quote unquote royal duties. They barely went out for so-called royal functions this year, but last year, but somehow they're going to get pay increase. And this is why whenever you see, I want you to pay attention. Yeah, 56 million. Yeah, Joel. Yeah, let me go ahead and share. That's what they're about to get right now. For what? There are people, and this is the same person, the same William who released a documentary, the Rush documentary, claiming that he wants to end poverty. He wants to end homelessness. Do you know? Do you have any idea how far $56 million, convert that to pounds? Do you know how far 56 million will go in eradicating homelessness? That's what they're about to get. And then these people, they have the audacity to like accuse Meghan of not being in touch. The toxic British media have the audacity to accuse Meghan Markle of putting up this show that is about to air. Please pay attention. Be on the lookout for that. Meghan Markle's new show is coming up on the 15th of January. But the toxic British media had the audacity to talk about how she is out of touch. Really? She's working for every dime that she makes. She can do whatever she likes with it. But these royal families that are basically living off of the taxpayers in the UK, and yet you want to ignore what they're doing and be fixated on Meghan and Harry and how she's living her life and all of these things that she's doing. Like, it's so wild to me as a concept. Honestly, it is so crazy that, and this is part of what they're doing. They want to uneducate, they want to raise enough uneducated people that will not ask questions, even the basic questions about what exactly it is that the royal family actually does to garner all this. Can you imagine? The royal family can come and claim today that, oh, we don't take taxpayers' fund, which is a lie. They do. Claiming everything that they own is as a result of all of the people that they've been taxing for thousands of years. Generational wealth of taxing the poor to enrich themselves. But do you know what the toxic British media is doing? Rather than shining the limelight, shining the spotlight on these very serious issues, they are choosing to focus on Meghan Markle, who, by the way, has not relied on the UK government tax or whatever, and never will. People who are actually working hard and making their money, but it is a distraction. All of this is a smoke screen. If you don't know by now that the toxic British media is in on whatever is going on with the royal family, is in on it with the royal family, then something is definitely wrong with you. Then all of the things that they set out to do to confuse you is clearly working. But yeah, this is what is being reported right now. It says, British royal family set for staggering pay increase this year from the UK Treasury. And who pays the UK Treasury? The taxpayers. So the article says in April, the payout from the British public purse, to the monarchy's sovereign grant will be up by over $56 million. Okay? So the article says the amount of money the British royal family receives from the UK Treasury will increase substantially in 2025. The work, based on their recent updates, the recent analysis, is very obvious that the work itself have decreased. A lot of them haven't done much of anything. While the work decreased, the pay increased. I wonder if part of the reason that they gave as to why their work decrease was that they were not getting paid enough. Like, make that, just let that sink in for a moment. These people, according to the recent analysis, they did less work in 2025, in 2024, but somehow they're getting a pay increase. All off of the taxpayers' dime. But all these people are fixated, focusing their anger, their anguish, their bitterness on Meghan Markle. So it says in April the amount of money given from the British public purse to the monarchy will increase by over $56 million, which is 45 million pounds, taking the funding of the sovereign grant to over 165 million, which is 132 million pounds, a figure described as scandalous as the UK government struggled to find money for other budget items. Can you imagine, in a country where the UK government is struggling to find funds for other budgets, the royal family is getting a $56 million, 45 million pounds pay increase? And then, guess what? In wake of this scandal, guess how the British media is handling this? Instead of providing the truth, instead of presenting the truth to the people, they are using Meghan Markle as a smokescreen to divert attention to this atrocious act of the royal family. It is sickening. It really is sickening. A figure described as scandalous as the UK government struggles to find money for other budgeted items. The sovereign grant is the amount paid to the monarchy by the UK Treasury. Yeah, that's what they get for being royal family members. Like, it is so wild. So it goes on to say, the article in quotation, this is public money. All of this money comes from the government at a time when the government is not able to properly fund schools, hospitals, police. CEO of Republic Graham Smith said. It is scandalous. Not only should it not be going up at all, it should be going down, Smith added. Yeah. Do you know what the British people are not focusing on? This particular story. Because they are too busy obsessing over Meghan Markle, who has done nothing to them, who has not taken a dime from them. But this is who they are choosing to focus on, because they are, in case if you still don't know, British people, the toxic British media is doing the dirty bidding of your people. Do you know how many people will talk about, for you to actually end up hearing such a story from People magazine, an American-based magazine, as opposed to the British press blasting these stories all over for anyone who cares to hear. But they will not do that because they are all in the pocket of Camilla, the concubine of Cornwall. They are all getting invites. If they say anything negative, if they say anything remotely critical, that will immediately cause them to be uninvited, disinvited from any event that she's throwing. Because guess what's more important than telling the British people the truth, being friends and buddy, hanging out, attending parties with the concubine of Cornwall? Apparently, that's what's most important than telling the British people the truth. Your press, sorry to break it to you, okay? Sorry to break it to you, British people. Your press is compromised. Your medias are all compromised. They are not here telling you the truth. They want to lie to you while the royal family continue to get away. The only reason why the royal family continue to get away with what they get away with is because of their strange relationship with your media. So make no mistake about it. Don't ever think for a second that your media, that your press have your best interest at heart, because they don't. They exist to help the royal family. They exist to serve the royal family. You don't even come, you come last. You don't come middle, you don't come first, you come last. When it comes to the hierarchy of needs, you come last as far as the toxic British media is concerned. So let's talk about Kate and William and this new shenanigan and how she has been basically kicked out. Last year, she barely did anything. Okay. Last year, she was basically missing in action. You know, people literally sent out the search party to go and look for Kate. And so now that she's back, it doesn't seem that she's sticking around. So let me share my screen. Now that Kate is back, she's not sticking around. So it is being reported Kate Middleton will not return to full-time royal duties anytime soon, sources revealed. The Princess of Wales, who first announced she was facing health difficulty in January, won't be going back to work in the same way as she did yesteryears. Continuing, the article says, after announcing she had finished her treatment for the C word in the early autumn, the mother of three took on a number of royal engagements, hosting carol concerts together at Christmas, where she was joined by her children, blah, blah, blah. And sources have told the Mail the children will remain her focus moving into 2025, saying that the princess simply won't be going back to work in the same way as before. And speaking to the royal experts, insiders revealed there will be a slow return to full public duties, and there are no plans for any full-scale foreign tours. Instead, catering focus will be on her early years work. What early years work? You see, now that, because they try to shame Meghan Markle, right? They try to shame Meghan Markle and talked about how, oh, now she wants to be Martha Stewart. She reinvented herself, which is completely false, not true. You know, and so now Kate herself is now pushing this narrative. And okay, let me finish my thoughts. When people started bullying Meghan Markle about her new Netflix upcoming show, and people, her supporters, those who have been with her for the longest time, basically came out and they were like, oh, she has been doing this. This is her life. Prior to meeting Prince Harry, this was her life. And guess what happened? When that happened, Kate was, Meghan was, and then Kate, and you know, they kind of retreated from that lie that they were still, some of them are still saying the same thing, right? But now that it has been debunked that this was what she was always doing, now the toxic British media is now trying to spin a narrative that, oh, even Kate too, she had a life. She had something that she was doing prior to meeting Prince meet all she, you know, her work of yesteryears. This so-called work of yesteryears, nobody knows about it. Nobody knows about her work of yesteryears. It's all in her head. Do you know what I think is happening? I think her job to be like the show pony has been done, and now she's back to being kicked to the curb where she rightfully belongs. Okay, now she's back to being kicked to the curb. Now she's persona non grata once again, and they're done using her this time. Until next time, remember, Princess Diana. Princess Diana, um, whose father needs to go away. Remember, Princess Diana was another person who was kicked to the curb for a while. And, they were separated, they were divorced, and nobody knew about it for a long time until the truth came out. Until the truth came out. So basically, whatever you think of this situation, because I know that when this story about William, doing away with Kate, when the story blows up now, you're gonna see Kate coming out again, doing a few media whatever before going back into hiding. That's how they play people. That is how they confuse those who are easily confused. That is how they confuse the gullible people. So yeah, this really ultimately means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. Somebody says William and Kate aren't together. Yeah, yeah. Every now and then when they need her, right? Every now and then when they need her to come and do a show, I'm sure they probably pay her. They'll be like, okay, fine. What do you need? £10,000? Do you need £20,000 for you to just show up? You don't even need to let me touch you. You don't even need to let me touch you. Just show up. That's all I need for you to do is just show up. You know, and then she'll show, and that's the reason why, if you notice, whenever they're doing this press, whenever they're doing this event that they supposedly do together, that's why you see how she never let him touch her with a 10-foot pole. Like, she fidgets whenever he tries to touch her, whenever he tries to put on a PDA. And you can just tell that she's not about that life. She's not in for that. And she'll just be like, please don't touch me. I think that's what she's thinking in her mind. Obviously, she's not going to say that because they are in public. But I have no shred of that in my mind that whenever this man touches this woman, she will just be like, please take your filthy paws away from me. Do not touch me with those nasty, filthy hands, you cheater. And that's why you see her, she always fidgets whenever they are together, whenever they are completing their so-called royal duties. So I do believe that whenever they need her, when the voices of the people that are calling for her whereabouts gets loud enough, I think that's why they will go and talk to her, renegotiate her terms, and make her come out and do a video, and do like a public appearance, and just to say, you see, don't listen to all the things, all what these people are saying. She's good, she's this and she's that, you know, like, it's a mess. Oh my gosh. Somebody says, I'm going to highlight this so that nobody can come and hold me responsible for this comment. Somebody says, I believe William sleeps with men and Kate knows it. Just my opinion. I don't know, but you won't put anything past anybody, Anything is possible. There is a lot of scandals, there's a lot of lies, there's a lot of deceit going on in the royal family. There is a lot of stuff that goes on, yeah, that people don't even know. There's a lot of stuff that goes on that people don't even really know about, or people just choose to ignore, or I would like the royal family. I feel like one of the things that they spend their money on is just paying off people who are maybe blackmailing them. I really believe that they do pay off a lot of blackmailers. Okay. I do believe that, because the things that have been like the things that these people are capable of, okay, the things that they are capable of, the only way to get away, the only way to avoid those things being sneaking out And for example, with video evidence and picture evidence and all this other stuff, I believe the only reason why those things don't get sneaked out is because they pay a lot of their blackmailers. They pay them really, really well, you know. And so, and they even marry. I even think when it comes to blackmailing, and obviously this is my opinion, I believe that when it comes to blackmailing, I believe there is nothing that is off the table. Nothing is off the table when it comes to how they can be blackmailed. Even their own wives, in my opinion, obviously, I have no proof to any of this. I would not even be surprised if concubine or Cornwall holds a very detrimental evidence, has a very detrimental evidence that she's holding over his head. Because for somebody as brutal, for somebody as cruel as King Charles, for him to have been so loyal to concubine of Cornwall, that tells me that the only way she could have succeeded, the only way she would have succeeded in keeping him in line was having something over his head that she will use as a reminder whenever he wants to step out of line. She'll be like, don't step out of line, otherwise these things will get leaked. You know, I have all these friends in the press who can get these things leaked. You know what I mean? I strongly believe in my heart of heart that is what, because he's nasty. Like he's very mean. He's a very cruel human being, Charles. Charles, in my opinion, is a very cruel human being. And I think the only reason why he had maintained and stayed loyal to concubine Cornwall is because he knows that she has the secret that will bury the monarchy, that will completely change the course of history for the monarchy. Make no mistake about it. Oh, love, there is no love there. She's disgusting. Like, who will love this? Seriously, who would love this? And this has nothing to do with age. Like, I have gone back to look at some of Camilla's pictures and videos from when she was in her prime. There was never a time that Camilla was a looker. You know what I mean? There was never a time where she was like, oh my gosh, she's so gorgeous. Never. She wasn't even average. You know what I mean? So, like, and then it's love. What love? Give me a break. This woman has something over the king, as far as I'm concerned, my opinion, obviously. I strongly believe that she has something over the king, and I wouldn't even be surprised if Kate does too. I wouldn't be surprised if Kate has something over William that she's holding over his head, and it is an embarrassing thing that she doesn't want exposed, you know. So yeah, but this is interesting. Brace yourself, British people. They're about to take your money. Imagine getting a pay increase in this time. Can you imagine, as bad as things are for the average British person, these people are choosing this time to get a pay increase. And it's not even like something small. 45 million pounds increase. All for what? Doing what? So yeah. Anyways, guys, I'll be back later. I have a few things to catch up on. I will come back in a little bit. Thank you guys so much for being here. Catch you later. Bye.